So today is March 26th, 2026, and this is a linden that I got, I believe it was early last year, or maybe the winter before. It's pretty young. I'm not sure what type of linden it is. Unfortunately, last summer the pot broke, and I did not have the time or any other real pots to put it into. So I kind of band-aided this pot, and it's time for it to get repotted into something else and take a look at the roots. And I just really wanted to get it into something fresh before it budded out any further. It looks like it's got a kind of a nice shape going on here. I think I can do something with this. It's got a natural kind of arcing shape to it. I'm just still putting it in a pot to grow in, not a true bonsai pot, because it's not refined enough, I'm sure, to be doing anything. It's pretty soggy because this is in regular potting soil and mixed together with bonsai soil. Yeah, it's really soggy. We have a thunderstorm going on right now outside, so hopefully I won't lose any power or anything while I try to get this video. It's been a long time since I did any videos. My trees have just been in maintenance mode this past year. Oh yeah, this is really soggy. I'm glad I changed this out. More of a massive root on this side. Let's see. We're having a wet spring, pretty cold, end of winter. More cold than warm for March. Personally, I guess it's okay because I'd rather get all the cold weather out of the way as much as possible. So that once that the weather does break around here in northwest Indiana, I can just be not so much up and down. There's always up and down, but spring is the worst for me. The most unpredictable. And I have a tendency to overwater because I worry about the winds we get sometimes when I'm not home. I'm at work, and I can't be there to do any kind of emergency watering until I get home. So I tend to overpot a little bit for outside, just for that purpose, because none of mine are in such refinement that they wouldn't just benefit from being in a little bit of a bigger pot. They're not going into shows or anything like that. They're just my trees. Oh yeah, that was pretty wet. There's a fair amount of roots. More than I thought. More fine roots than I thought. I just want to make sure there's no really circling or crossing roots or anything like that. Otherwise, I don't mind it I'm not really trying to take a whole lot off. I just really wanted it in another pot. One that's not broken, and one that's going to give it a little more room to grow with roots sideways, kind of, rather than deep. I think there's a weird... I don't know if that's alive or dead. There's some dense stuff up in there. I want to put some growth on this tree, so it's going to go into a bigger pot than that. But I might plant it a little shallower, not give it so much depth. Chopstick. Ugh. I'm a lefty, it makes it difficult. There's some kind of like really fine roots right here, but also like some kind of a chunk of clay maybe or something. Or muck. I don't really know very much about lindens. I looked up the tree, the two varieties, the regular linden and then the little leaf linden. I'm not sure which one this is. I'll have to ask my friend, the friend that gave it to me, again and see if he knows. He might not know. I guess I might be able to tell once it leaves out. It's not a species of tree that I'm very familiar with. I'm not sure what's going on there. I gotta set this down. Looks like there's some kind of a big root here maybe or something. It's so wet. I'd be tempted to rinse it off, but I'm actually out of my inoculant, the mycorrhizoid powders all gone, and I haven't had the chance to order any new ones. This almost feels like it was a branch at one time. It's got a very flat, chunky shape under here, not just... Oh, what's all going on? I really don't want to rinse this off. Huh. There's not actually another root on this side. They kind of tuck under, and it looks like there might be a little bit of a root there, so I might try to keep that and not nip it off, because it might be a root for this back side, or front side. Not sure which side it's going to be, but the roots are sparser on this side. There's some roots growing alongside of it, a little bit under it. I think it's still alive, so maybe I'll cut it back to cut it to there and see what happens. Maybe it'll come down a little lower under the soil when I repot it. Okay, so I got my soil mixed up together. I was adding a little extra pumice to the mix, and this little stone showed up in there. So once I'm done potting, when I clean it up, I'm gonna put this with it. There is some organic material in this particular soil, because like I said, I'm still growing this tree up some more, and I wanted to get used to the mostly inorganic soil, but I don't want to go total shock, because you saw what I took it out of. Even though there is organic material in this, it was obviously still retaining a lot of water. Ugh. So we are going to go with this. And I'm going to put a layer of the bigger pumice on the very bottom. There we go. Anybody with information on lindens, feel free to share it in the comments. I don't know very much. I don't have a personal experience with this tree. So, yeah. What's going on right here? I have a little twig here coming right up from the base. And then there's a root that kicks up high kind of right here. But I feel like if I take that off, it would be better. And it does arc up and over, so it's not really... Probably be better if I didn't have it. So now we're looking at that. Kind of wondering what's going on under here. Still, it almost looks like there's another layer of root down here that's more along the plane of all the rest of these roots. And if I took this one off, it's another kind of a high root. I wasn't planning on doing this much root work, but it is what it is. Yeah, that might end up giving a better nebari in the long run. I still have some roots back here that I'll try to encourage some more. Now let's make a little mound here. I would have preferred a round or a square pot, but I just don't have them. It seems rectangular pots are easier to come by. I'm still going to try and make a decent raised mound. It's going to not show up on camera very well. And I'm going to give this back side where there isn't a lot of roots to one of the long ends of this pot so that hopefully it'll give it more room to develop on that side and not add too much. See, there's a bend in that. Not too much growth added to these sides that are already pretty well developed. So find the flat part of the bottom and get these roots spread out best I can. Lay them on this mound. And push that down. And kind of push down these roots. Help them take their shape. Now, I don't have anything to tie this in with, but I'll probably weight it down, and I've planted it pretty low in the pot, so I can't have that there. I can see here where there's a little bit of a hollow because this comes up higher. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put some right there. Since I already know I got a gap there. And a little bit of one on this other side too, where I had clipped off that root that really didn't have any roots on it, but I'm going to take a chance. I might have to mix up more soil. Let's see here. Yep, it's thundering again. You need to stay in there, buddy. Hope I don't have to tie you down. Oh, we got some aluminum wire. I'm really going to have to try and tie this pot in. Or try to tie this tree in. Okay, so I am back. I had to start over and take all the soil back out and put wires in the bottom. This is a makeshift basket that I put holes in initially, and they're not in the greatest position for wire, but the last couple of things I planted in that basket I didn't have to use wire for. So this one I did. It kept trying to rise up as I was trying to put soil around it. So now I'm going to go back in and fill where we left off. And again, this is just a growing pot, and there's no real front or back to this tree yet because I don't know where the branches are going to leaf out, what the nebari is going to look like just yet. So it's only positioned in this direction because it has less roots on, oh gosh, completely out of camera, less roots on this side, so I wanted to give it the longer length for more roots to be able to grow there, and this one to shorten or stunt the ones that are on the sides, which are already pretty well developed. And what's in this direction is more developed as well. The tips of the wires are just hanging out up here. I couldn't find my tool roll, which has my pliers in it that I use for twisting the wire, so I kind of had to do a makeshift job on that. Just enough, though, to keep it from rising up. That's all I cared about, was that it stayed down, and I got her down. So I just have to fill in the unevenness. Right under the base on this side. It looks like it's got a pretty graceful shape to it, this tree. It's young, but it'll be interesting to see what it does, because I not only have never had one, I don't know that I've ever seen one. It bugs me that I can't find my tool roll. There's another rock. Yep. I'm adding a little bit of soil just because this will probably settle. And hopefully once this has been rained on and watered in and everything, it will settle to being, like, this is going to basically be the soil line. But we're not just yet. It's just staying covered up a little bit more until I make sure everything settles right. I would say that right there would probably be the eventual front. Maybe with a bunch over here, bunch over there. Looks pretty good. So that's my first repot of the year. Linden. Not sure if it's American Linden or if it's the too little variety. I'm not sure. Hopefully find out when it leaves out. Thanks for watching my video. A little rusty getting back to making videos, but I got a lot more stuff to do, so I'll be back in my bonsai corner as soon as the storms are over and we get nice weather again. Thanks for watching.